like people in the Middle Ages, felt no particular compunction, unlike the rest of you this morning, to stick to a script they couldn't read anyway, or even understand, as most of the Bible was only in Latin at that time. Therefore, they felt just fine in the 14th and 15th centuries, and they felt not at all blasphemous about filling in aspects of plot and character they felt should have been in the story, but somehow got left out when Jerome was all writing this down for the Roman Catholic Church in the 4th century. Now, these details invariably disclose what we might call the common observation aspect of daily life. Somehow the Bible did not always include these, or, probably better said, its brand of comedy just didn't always travel well. Also, there was a distressing lack in the biblical script, judging by the way the medievals tried to address this gap, of what we might call the woman's point of view, and even more neglectful, the kid's point of view. And medieval players added these big time. So everything I'm going to tell you now, believe it or not, is coming from a 15th century script. And my favorite example, actually one of my favorite examples, is Noah's Ark, which you guys did so beautifully that I would hate to actually gild that lily, because it would not be possible. So I'll give you a different favorite example. It's from the mystery biblical plays at Chester, which is a nice, boring market town on the River Dee, whose population swelled to 40 times its usual weight on Corpus Christi because, and this means that merchants loved these holidays. People had thronged year to year to see the famous Chester mysteries played in the streets. Now, one of the ones that I like the best, and one is actually you've got over here in this fancy window, is Abraham and Isaac, which was played every single year, I am not making this up, by the Butchers Guild, for reasons that must be all too apparent. Because nobody was above a bit of savvy advertising on Corpus Christi with 40 times the people that were usually in town might be around. I wonder whether there's a good butcher around here. They seem to do kids really well. Anyway, just like in the Bible, in the Chester play, yes, God tells Abraham to take his son and kill him. Kids, I'm really glad they're off in Sunday school right now. Abraham, in a wonderful, typical show of what I think of as male on male, unquestioning obedience, kind of like that put me in coach attitude to life, starts trudging off to do exactly that. But the scene on the makeshift altar stone soon degenerates into misfire, like a Laurel and Hardy routine. 3 times Abraham attempts to do this deed, only to be interrupted by his son Isaac, who is actually giving us a bravura display of tactical maneuvering, which must be actually rather familiar to all of us, whose kids stop us every time we try to get to the door to ask for another drink of water or a story at bedtime. So in the Chester play of Noah, circa 15th century, Abraham raises his fatal hand. Wait, Father! Can you please turn me face down, which means your thing has got it wrong over there. I don't want to have to see this coming. Abraham does what he says, turns him upside down, raises his hand again. We have stage directions. Wait, Father! Could you blindfold me? Now, why this is, because he's looking at the stone, I don't know. He does that. Tension is now raising to an almost impossible height. And in the one that never fails to make me first gasp and then giggle on the 3rd try, Abraham raises his hand the 3rd time, and he says, okay, Father, do what you have to do, but boy, just wait till you get home and Mom hears about this. Now, I am only paraphrasing a little. The actual line is more like, tell you not, my mother, what you did. But you get the point. Isaac's brilliant delaying tactics now give God some time to show up and save the day, with the ram and all. But I think we're also meant to appreciate the human truth that no mom would sacrifice her son just because somebody calling himself God told her to. She'd demand to see some identification first. She'd then say something like, if anybody's going to kill this kid, it's going to be me. Have you seen his room? And she would have trained her kid how to avoid strangers. Or in this case, handle people who have suddenly and inexplicably become strangers. So best and last and best of all, we are meant to applaud this plucky kid and his saving sense of comic timing.